Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to WizdomDropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. My name is Tonia, and today we are discussing the ingress of Venus into Libra in 2020. I am very excited about this. Let me just say that. I think it's going to offer each and every single one of us an incredible opportunity to just experience the higher vibrations of Venus at a more naturally occurring, just kind of like it just happened level without putting in all the work that Venus and Virgo demanded of us, which is in and of itself very powerful and very worthy of exploring. Okay, notice on Venus and Virgo, I have mad respect for Venus and Virgo, just putting that right there. But I think it's going to provide us all a really fresh new beginning. And I feel it in my heart, just like this is a new beginning and we all need it. We need some Venusian love. We need some Venusian pleasure. Like, can I hear an amen? Amen. Okay. And, I think it's just really auspicious. And so I'm going to go in more depth on that with you. I'm going to share the screen with you, friends, so that you can see what is actually happening other than Venus's ingress into Libra when it does ingress into Libra. Why is this important? I think that that's important for us to look at because it's almost like, in a solar return chart, how you look at when the sun comes back to the same place that the sun was when you were born. It's like that, but for Venus, it's like marking a birthday of it entering into its own sign. It almost, in other words, the chart shows us what maybe other we can expect in the flavor of that Venusian cycle. So what else can we expect, in other words, as Venus is transiting Libra? Obviously, there's going to be so many transits to Venus along the way, but by looking at the ingress chart, we're kind of seeing what is this time frame marked with? What is the tattoo on this energy imprint that is the movement of Venus back into her own sign of Libra? That should make sense. I hope it does. Now, before I jump into all them juicy details and show you the chart, I have a few quick announcements. Number one, if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, what are you doing? I put out a video every single day of the week, every single day. So be here for it. I'm here for you. I'm here to grow astrological competency on the interwebs and support you as a source of support as you navigate your life through the heavens. That is astrology. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to grow that knowledge bank and to support you in your everyday life as you just deal with life and really help you kind of be the best that you can be. I know that sounds maybe cliche, but that's really my intention with WizdomDropz. I want to grow the knowledge. I want to grow the community. I want to grow the betterment of people at a very baseline level because I believe in that sort of change and I am working on being who I want to be in the world. You know what I'm saying? The change that I want to be in the world. Gandhi, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, all that to say, if you are not subscribed, join us because I'm here for you every day. Be here for it. If you are freshly subscribed or have been here a long time subscribing, thank you so much. I appreciate your presence. We are at hundreds of people at this point. It's very exciting to see the incredible, beautiful growth. Number two, like the video if it brings you any value whatsoever because it gets other people out there this information. It helps them improve their lives through astrology and just learning more around what is going on in the weather, right? Number three, this is posting this video right before the deadline for my course. If you're not signed up for a Calendly call yet and you want to learn astrology like for real from this place that we've been discussing in the intro of this video, join us. And you have to sign up in the Calendly link down below for the next couple days when I actually have a space available to talk with you on the phone about the course. It's ending Halloween. If you're not registered Halloween, it's over. We start class on 111 angel numbers all day. Okay. November 1st, in other words. So if you're into that, the links are down below. Okay. Great. Now let's share our screen and let's look at what is happening as Venus ingresses into Libra. This is happening on October 27th. It's a few days. You're seeing this video if you're watching it freshly posted a few days ahead. So you're going to get, heads up, in other words, if you're watching this as I post it. And Venus just enters later in the day on the 27th, at least from the United States perspective. And basically, right off the bat, you'll notice what's happening in this chart as she enters her own sign. Okay, there is an opposition, and that opposition is to the moon in Pisces. So again, we're looking at this chart. This isn't like a super common thing that astrologers do videos on, but I just think it has value, and I was guided to do it, and there's always a reason I'm guided to do something. So I think it has value to look at this ingress chart. Like, we're looking at the ingress chart, like what is going on as Venus enters this sign. And it's telling us for the next like month or so, what are we gonna see from Venus? You know what I'm saying? So there's there's actually like a lot on offer, because the moon opposite Venus asks us to get in tune with our emotions. It asks us to get in tune with our feelings around beauty, our feelings around justice, because Venus in Libra, Libra is one of two signs that Venus rules. Venus rules Taurus, and that's more about the raw, sheer kind of like, even in some vibration, selfish pleasure. No shade on Taurus, Libra, or Taurus Venus energy, but it is about the indulgence of it. You know what I'm saying? Now you put Venus in Libra, she's much more concerned as a goddess with justice, because Libra is an air sign. And so this is about justice. What is true? What is beautiful? Those are synonyms in the ancient world. Like truth and beauty are one in the ancient world. Isn't that beautiful? So it's egalitarianism. It's like balanced in our societal views of people and our relationships. And when it's opposite the moon like this, there could be like almost like a psychological yearning, a psychological emotional yearning to connect with people emotionally, is how I'm seeing this play out, and feeling very emotionally overwhelmed on the 27th. If you're feeling overwhelmed on the 27th, especially in the day and into the night on the 27th, just know that there's like an emotional transformation happening in us all, because the moon is the collective feelings at any given point in time. It also rules our body, because our bodies are mostly water, and the moon controls the tides of the earth, right? So just know, if you're feeling that influence on the 27th, especially during the day or night, and this could be like the 26th even, that you start really feeling this, right? Just know that's because there's a Venus opposition to the moon. And especially on the 27th, once Venus is entering Libra, it's really like something is on offer. Emotional connection is on offer. Emotional connection to others in a way that you haven't had access to for like the previous months or previous however long is on offer. So I see that as being really auspicious. And this is going to last, remember, because this is like a tattoo. This is like an imprint for the whole Venus cycle in Libra, as she is in Libra. So there's that. I think we're all, in other words, for the next like month or so, really coming in to our Venusian relationship, emotional expression, our emotional connection within relationships. I am excited for that. I think that's going to be really healing and really beneficial. But what other aspects is Venus engaged with? Now, this is fantastic. Look at that. What else is she engaged with, y'all? A nice, very nice little trine, okay, over there to Capricorn. And yeah, it's weird because like you're like, trine only happens between the same element, like earth and earth. Well, by degree, it actually doesn't. It happens by sometimes air and earth, for example, in this example. So Saturn is trining Venus. Gorgeous. Pluto is trining Venus, or Venus is trining Saturn, Venus is trining Pluto. And that's awesome, because in ancient astrology, Venus and Saturn were actually frenzies. Isn't that interesting? I know, right? I know. But if you think about it, it makes sense, because Venus, from an ancient view, the goddess, is not, if you look at Aphrodite even, or if you look at Venus, the goddess, she is not the most like emotionally clingy goddess. She's the most beautiful of the goddesses. She understands relationship more than any other goddess in some way, shape, or form, right? But she is not the most emotionally invested goddess. She knows how to conduct all that. That's why Libras are really beautiful and really flirty, or they come across that way. But at the end of the day, they're not really there to like have the deepest connection with everybody. They just seem like that because they just care about the social beauty of it all. They enjoy the beauty of being socially engaged and in some form of a union of emotional connection, in this instance of this cycle of Venus in Libra, but some type of an exchange of thoughts, some types of an exchange of culture, some type of an exchange of beliefs. Libras get off on that stuff. So that's why everybody thinks that Libras are flirting with them when they're not necessarily trying to flirt with them. Plus they're really pretty, so it don't really help like that, but they enjoy the relationship of it all, the courtship, even in more like romantic scenarios of it all, because they're an air Venus, you know. And Venus is kind of detached is what I'm getting at. She's not like the most like emotionally like, oh my god, unless she's in Cancer, then it's like a whole different ball game. But I feel like people just misconstrue that a lot, so it was worth differentiating. And when she's trining, to wrap it back here, to Saturn, she is actually giving us this more boss biatch energy, this more kind of like, I know what is worth my time, and I know what is worth the long-term investment in. I know what is actually going to be beautiful in the fullness of time. I know what is going to be just and worthy of, investing in relationships in the fullness of time and over the fullness of time during this time, during this transit that we're seeing of Venus in Libra. I think a lot of people are going to get clear on what relationships are actually worth it and what relationships are not. Why am I saying that? Because Venus is the planet of relationships, transiting the sign of relationships, Libra. And she's making that beautiful trine to Saturn, time, in the sign of time. So these are two planets in their own signs. Venus is in its own sign of Libra. Saturn is in its own sign of Capricorn, in a harmonious aspect. And in ancient astrology, these are friends. Venus and Saturn are simpatico. They're friends. They're allies. They're on the same team. You know what I'm saying? So be aware, okay, no matter who you are, that relationships are going to be coming to more of a clear point as to what is worth it and what is not. Because this trine can also read like, you know where you need to sever, you know where you need to cut. And it can happen with a certain degree of grace, because Venus is in a dignified position of being in her own sign. Ain't that interesting? I know, it's so interesting. I love that. Now, bringing in a little bit of that Pluto, power is found, okay, at this time for all of us through that very stuff I was just talking about. Power is almost reclaimed through beauty. And this is like Persephone Hades dynamic here. This was Kronos, right? Saturn, but now Pluto is Hades in the ancient lore, even though it's a newly discovered planet, relatively speaking. It's still associated with Hades. So this is like Persephone Hades, depending on what you read into that. Yeah, it's like Persephone and Hades were like in love or not, and he was just a rapist and really creepy and not groovy. It really just depends on, there's so many layers in that. There's like a lot deeper. I can't really go into that because that's just like such a longer, deeper conversation than what I can do right now for real. But like, if you do want a video on that, just put me a link down, like a message down below, and be like, can you do a video on that? And I'll be like, okay, I'll do a video on that. But anyway, what I do want to say is that this is like, again, themes of power and themes of like power being just and brought forward in ways that are respectable, in ways that are beautiful, in ways that are honest, and ways that are truly in some way collaborative, because Venus and Libra, gorgeous. And there's just more of that energy on offer because that's on offer. Now, last thing I really want to highlight here, look at this that just caught my attention. Ooh la la, this is fantastic. I hope that other astrologers talk about this for the sake of people knowing. But if you're watching this video right now, congratulations, because I have a feeling some of them are just gonna skip over this. At the time that Venus ingresses into Libra, look-see, what's going on in here, putsy? Mercury is retrograding at 29 degrees Libra. Why am I freaking out over this? I'm freaking out about this because these are anaretic degrees. These are hella karmic degrees, not disease, hella karmic degrees in the chart. Because this is the beginning degree, 0 degrees, and this is the end degree, the last degree, okay, 29 degrees of any given sign. And in this instance, Libra has all but two planets in her sign, okay, and they're both at anaretic degrees, at the beginning and the end degree. That's really unique. that we have this ingress energy with this retrograde finality energy. This is a signature, y'all. This is probably why I was called to do this video, honest to goddess, because this is a karmic signature, a telltale sign. This is like, let's go down this rabbit hole for a second. Let's interpret this. New beginnings in partnerships, okay? Venus entering Libra. That's like textbook, 0 degrees. New beginnings in relationships, right? Right. Now, 29 degrees Mercury retrograde, on the other hand, in Libra is a different and deeper in some ways story. Why is it deeper? Because it's retrograde. Duh. Every time something goes retrograde, it's 3 times as deep, 3 times as intense. Number 2, that Mercury just got done doing a forward motion and then a retrograde motion in the sign of Scorpio, which is like the deepest sign in the zodiac, right? So there's that. And what is Mercury symbolic of? Our thoughts are also, yeah, relationships to some extent. It's not just the territory of Venus. Mercury is our exchange. So anytime you have a friend, that's also not only a Venus energy, it's a Mercurial energy. So it is a planet of exchange, a planet of information, a planet of skill, a planet of craft, a planet of really any kind of exchange of information or knowledge, okay? Because Mercury is vehicular. It rules what moves from one place to another in that regard. And so it's deep, it's profound, it's meaningful, because she, Mercury is both, right, genders, just got back from its deep, dark dive into Scorpio, and it ain't done yet, kids. It's gonna go back, don't you worry, into Scorpio once it goes forward, right? But for now, it just got out of that, and it's like back in Libra. Like, and now what does this mean? It's like, wait a minute, I thought I was done. Mercury's like, I thought I was done with relationship stuff. I thought I was done figuring out what was going on here with this like larger kind of like my relationship with people in the world. Libra for anybody's chart, right? And then depending on your chart, this will have a different meaning. Just keep in mind, like if you know enough astrology to look and see what house is Libra energy, for you in your chart, this will inform deeper what I'm about to say. But anyway, for everybody, I'm just doing a general interpretation here. Mercury retrograde was like, I thought I was done with this Libra. Like, how do I relate with people? How do I connect with people? How do I do that? How do I go about doing that? My almost like approach to dealing with others in relationship, right? I thought I was done figuring that out. But then I took a dive into Scorpio and found out there's some deeper things that I wasn't really aware of, that weren't really on my radar at that point in time. And now all that reflection and refinement that I've done in my thoughts around all those scorpionic themes of like, what's really valuable at the end of the day? What's really powerful at the end of the day? What's really speaking as true in my soul at the end of the day? Now that I visited there with Mercury, I'm talking as if I was Mercury, right? I'm seeing that these relationships and how I relate with relationships is actually, and I'm also talking as you, right, is actually not done for inspection. I actually have more to learn here with how I relate to people and how I build with people and how I commit to people and how I partner with people. Commit, 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 because commit energy is Venusian and it is Saturnian. And we see again this, I already talked about the signature. Venus is literally trining Saturn. What a gorgeous, I'm getting goosebumps. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Once you know astrology, y'all, it's just like, it's just so beautiful to be able to sit here. I'm like so thankful for all the teachers I've learned from off the interwebs over the last 10 years, you know, like just putting this stuff together and in my own interpretations as well. I'm just thankful for that in this moment, because it gives you such a lens into what is happening. And what I'm seeing for us all is that there's a new type of relationship we are all coming forward in. This new energy is 0 degrees of Libra Venus as it ingresses home opposite the moon as it ingresses. Gorgeous emotional connection on offer, a yearning for emotional connection. With a moon in Pisces, it's benevolent in nature, good dignity, Venus in this moon to Pisces, very benevolent, emotional, intuitive energy with moon in Pisces. And this Mercury is just retrograding back. Like there's more to do with relationship. You are rethinking, I think my thesis, if you want to call it that for this video, is that you are rethinking how you do relationship and gaining so much more value in that process of relationship-ing, of commitment-ing, of partner-ing, of coming up with any kind of like functional compatibility arrangement in your life that is partnership, right? So like, I think there's just like a new profound way, like new layers that we've unearthed at this point, and your social relationships have an opportunity to really flourish and to gain more of an intuitive, emotional connection at this time. Because remember, this is like the birthday almost point of like this Venus entering Libra, really beautiful. And with Neptune there in Pisces, just souping up that emotional, intuitive, kind of altruistic energy of that moon in Pisces is really beautiful. I really see this as a benevolent cycle. I'm excited for November, y'all. We need some of this energy in our lives right now. I think this was revelatory, though. To summarize it for you, this is revelatory because 29-degree retrograde Mercury is rethinking, and this is a revisiting of what you've already been thinking about for like a while, right? So you're revisiting with more maturity, more insight, more seriousness in certain ways, more somberness, but it is not in a way that feels like weighted down, because the planet of somberness, Saturn, is actually an harmonious aspect to this Venus. And the planet that brings us that serious insight from its deep, dark dive into Scorpio is retrograding back into Libra and is under benevolent influence of a conjunction by sign. Yes, friend, even though this is 28 degrees of separation or whatever, it's still a conjunction by ancient standards because it's in the same sign. So there's that benevolent influence. And last, I'll say Mercury's opposite Uranus. So this is truths, deeper truths coming to the forefront through all of this that I just mentioned. Gorgeous transit. I'm excited to hear how your month goes. Let me know. Let me know down below in a comment, okay? And with that said, like the video if it brought you any value so that other people can get the insight. Look at those sirens. They agree. They're like, this shit is hot. So that other people can get the download on what's going on. And with that said, my friend, through next time, until next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.